When considering buying an older or antique home, there are many things that have to be considered. We've invited Tom Morgan, Master Inspector and founder of Sound Home Inspection, to introduce us to some of the things to watch for when considering the purchase of an antique home. Tom is a leading expert on antique homes and has some very interesting tips to share with us today.
We're very, very fortunate today to be in a beautiful house. Date of construction, 1875. When we're looking at houses of this age and older, we're concerned about some inherent maintenance issues. These houses are not vinyl. We say in the construction business, vinyl is final. This is not vinyl. This is pristine, very skilled craftsmen built these houses, and they require the agent to communicate with their buyer the critical issues that they need to do. They need to be good stewards of these properties. It's essential. So we're looking here today at a porch. We have beautiful columns supporting this porch. And we were in New London the other day in a house of this age, and there was compression on these blocks. And we show, this is just a termite poker, but it's good for illustration purposes to show where the dry rot is and where the compression has happened. These particular columns are constructed of wood. They're original to the house at this point of construction. So that would be a critical area that we would do in the inspection process. The other thing is we would look at the ceiling here because we have a porch roof that could be issues with leakage, and we use something called a moisture meter on the inspection process. If we see water stainings, we will go to our tool bag, take a moisture meter out, hold it up to those surfaces, and they would give us an indication whether that leak. And then we would deal with flashing issues and shingle issues. The inspection is a visual inspection of all readily accessible areas, but one of the most important tools we use is the flashlight. Here we're just gently touching the surface to determine if the paint's adhered or there's been any leakage from the flashing. We're in a historical district here, thankfully, so there's certain preservation requirements, and one may be that we can't replace the windows. So I would direct your attention that we have the original window here, what we call a sash, and the glass is held in place by darts, metal inserts, and of equal importance is there's glazing or putty. And if you look at this window closely and you're walking around with your clients, you will see that that glazing has come off. That does not represent a defect. It doesn't represent an issue. It's a maintenance issue that as an agent you would discuss, and as a home inspector we would discuss with our clients. We're in this beautiful porch overlooking the water. There's been some marvelous restoration done here, but one issue that they forgot to complete here is, you notice we've got, these are steps. In the construction industry, we call these treads. You've got 3 treads, and then you've got a landing. One thing you should notice, this is void of a handrail. When you come out on the 4th of July having a little beverage reception, you don't want to end up in this fancy garden. So what we would recommend doing is constructing a handrail coming down here. It must be graspable so people can come down, hold on, of any age, and there would be an upright post here. That certainly would just represent in the home inspection report a recommendation for safety of the new owners and longevity of the materials. This house at time of construction had what we call Yankee gutters. They were an internal gutter, and after the renovation was completed here, they installed aluminum gutters, which are fine. But the gutters serve a very important part, not only to direct water away from the foundation, but we've got an open porch. We don't want the water running down here and destroying the deck surfaces, nor do we want ice to form here in the winter. So we talk about gutters in the report. You would, as an agent, walking around, point those out also and discuss the maintenance requirement to keep them free of debris and leaves. We're on the back porch. We've got beautiful corner board coming down here. We've got clapboards coming down, and it's exposed to the weather. And if you'll notice, we've got some dry rot here. I'm using an awl. I'm checking this to see if it's structural or cosmetic. This lower water table, as we define it, has got some dry rot. By using this implement and just lightly pushing it in there, we've determined that that's cosmetic. It hasn't affected the integrity of the sill. There have been some patches put in here, which are typical in an old house. Nicely done. Sometimes they're square cut, sometimes they're scarfed, but this is the implement we would use to check this. So we've got wooden clapboards here. They're butted up to the corner board. The corner board's not highly visible here because we have a downspout from the gutter, but inherently with an older house, we're looking at the point of connection here. Where this clapboard or clap joins, we're just checking to make sure it's tight. You can tell by the sound of this, it may not be overly audible, but if it was loose or the nails had failed, we would see movement in the clapboard and we could hear it audibly. Then we would look upward in the inspection and notice how nicely the clapboards are nailed. This homeowner has great pride in ownership, well painted. And then we would look up at the very, very beautiful detailed rake boards with all the detail and how nicely the shingles are overhanging. And you have the advantage of seeing they've changed the clapboards to some shingles up there. Just terrific detail. That's the part we love about inspecting these old houses. They're a challenge, they're beautiful, they represent a bygone era, and we really focus on this to give the client great understanding of the structure and the detail, and of equal importance, the maintenance.
We hope you enjoyed Tom's insights on what to look for when shopping for an antique home. With a special thanks to Tom Morgan from Sound Home Inspection. Thanks for watching.